seek a bit of help himself, because to keep going on like he's going on is unsportsmanlike, and it's a sure sign of mental health problems. Look, nobody wants to get beaten, especially after a 12-year unbeaten streak. But there has to be a point, a certain amount of time, where you let a defeat go. You know, at the end of the day in sports, teams lose, boxers lose, everyone's going to lose a fight now and again.
I'm reading you've got a lot of respect for Joshua, obviously as a fighter and as a man, but the way he handled his defeat to Ruiz was class, wasn't it?
Very class. You know, listen, we're rivals, we have been for a long time, but I've got to speak truthfully and honestly. You're a world heavyweight champion, you take a loss. You know, he handled it like a man. He handled it very sportsmanlike. He took it within his stride. He knew he'd made a mistake, and that was it. He didn't say why, he didn't make a million excuses. There was no excuses. I didn't hear any excuses from him himself at all, none.
Yeah.
He just said, well done, congratulations, I'll see you next time. And, you know, I would hope that I could conduct myself like that as well, if that happened to me.
Wow. Those are the words of Tyson the Gypsy King Fury as he praises Anthony Joshua for how he took his loss against Andy Ruiz last year, how he conducted himself. Just like you heard Tyson Fury said, you know, he has to speak honestly. He's rivals with Anthony Joshua, but he has to show respect and give credit where credit's due. Anthony Joshua was in the same situation Deontay Wilder's in. I've done a video about this, but Tyson Fury is pretty much reiterating what's going on, okay, with the differences. And he's explaining, look how Joshua took his loss. Even if there was something wrong with Joshua, which I believe there was, a lot of people did. I'm not the only one, but at the same time, did you see him talk about the excuse? No. Why? Because he knew the minute he said, man, I was okay and everything, but, or don't want to make excuses, but, the minute he said anything after, but, that was the excuse. Right? People would look at that as an excuse. His popularity would drop. People would look at him a lot differently because he's making an excuse for his own performance and what he was control of doing in that ring. Counterpunch. See, Tyson Fury knows now, and he will face Anthony Joshua, you know, hopefully, when they come into the ring. But if he wins or he loses, he won't have to be worried about the fucking bullshit that he's worried about now and he's getting pressed with. And I will leave this link below. It's not long, but Tyson Fury pretty much tells all, like, look, first of all, the man waited 8 months. Matter of fact, I'm going to let you guys hear it, but I just need to make this clear. Now I see why Tyson Fury said what he said about, look, you know what? I don't want to deal with nobody like that. Somebody like that ain't even got it all upstairs. Something's wrong with him to think and to make up that many excuses. And see that now people wonder why, okay, well, why would you want to be hassled with dealing with a person that you beat fair and square, he feels, and you have to worry about all that bullshit and pissing and crying and moaning from not only just him, but everybody around him. Okay, that's a hassle. Okay, and let me counterpunch you on this. When Manny Pacquiao lost to Floyd Mayweather in 2015, and Manny brought up that excuse about, you know, my shoulder was hurt, people blasted him. And I guarantee you, everybody that followed Floyd, and the same people that followed Floyd, followed Deontay Wilder. Now, when Floyd retired, he retired the same year in 2015. Okay, so they had to find someone to latch onto, and it was Deontay Wilder. So when Manny said that, nobody said shit about Manny wanting a rematch. They were like, hell no, you ain't getting a rematch. Okay, well, if that's the case, Manny Pacquiao made it one excuse, and then they blasted him for it. So why ain't you doing that on the behalf of Deontay Wilder? Because that's all he did was make an excuse. Nobody said shit. Nobody said anything when Manny Pacquiao wanted a rematch, and then he blamed it on a shoulder injury. Okay? Just like nobody really wants to hear someone give excuses when in fact that you should have just shut up, fought the man. You're going to call the man a cheater, then want a rematch against the man. That's retarded all by itself, really, honestly. You know what I mean? I mean, let's just face it. I know he signed the contract and everything, but don't do that now. Okay? Don't do that now. He should have done that later. So I think his timing was off. Okay? He should have waited. But again, we've already addressed that. However, you have Tyson Fury acknowledging, hey, the people that I want to face in the ring are people that don't make excuses when you beat them. That's why he's praising Anthony Joshua. Because Anthony Joshua, he's seen by evidence, okay, by the test of time, his resilience on how he took things. Was Anthony Joshua hurt when he got beat by Andy Ruiz? Yeah, he was hurt, but he didn't treat it like a fucking pussy. You know what I mean? He didn't sit back. Look, and I was saying, well, look, you don't know what Wilder's going to say, so chill. And I was amending Wilder for not saying anything, and I just thought it was his people, only to find out it was from him the whole time. Right? He either agreed to it, or he bought into it, or he created it. Okay? And when I say it, I mean all the excuses that he came up with. All right? So, back to Joshua. Now Tyson can sit back and admire someone and appreciate someone like Anthony Joshua. Why? Because Anthony Joshua is the type of dude that took his loss like a man. That's how you cordially take things. You know what I mean? That's how you do it. Okay, I lost. I got caught. Did Deontay Wilder get caught? Yes, he got caught. He got dropped twice. Joshua got dropped 4 times. Twice as many times. Right? And you didn't hear one excuse from that man. Not one. He got back on that bike. He trained. He started training right after that. Counterpunch. See, this is the difference between certain people. So I think the personality and the things that you choose to do and your choices, being a champion, it's a great responsibility. Did it hurt Wilder losing? Yeah, it did. Did he look for excuses? He admitted he was looking for excuses at first, before finding the truth or whatever about what happened. But, with Fury is a guy, and like he said, he was real about it. I hope that I'm that dude that doesn't make excuses after I lose. I hope I'm like Joshua. I hope I'm like Joshua if I ever lose. So that gives him the realistic mindset that, hey, he might lose one day. And if he does, he hopes he conducts it the same way Anthony Joshua did, because that's how you do it. You don't do it like what's going on right now. I'm sorry, you don't. No, I ain't sorry. You don't do that shit. Right? Let me let you guys listen to the last part of this. Or the first part.
After seeing all his excuses lately, and he's still holding on to the feelings of his malice feelings, and he's still of the opinion of, like, people have cheated him, his trainers cheated him, I've had weights in my gloves, his costume was too heavy, he had a bicep injury. I've run out of ideas of what other excuses a man could make in a defeat in boxing. And to keep coming out with these ludicrous accusations, I was quite concerned, I still am, for his mental well-being, First of all, he doesn't speak or say anything for 8 months on Instagram or anywhere. And all of a sudden he's coming out of all this stuff like, oh, he's cheated, he's done this, he's done that. I don't know who's advising him or who's around him, but he really needs to, in my opinion, he needs to seek a bit of help himself, because to keep going on like he's going on is unsportsmanlike, and it's a show.
Okay, so we've covered the rest of it, and the advisors. Okay, stay tuned for that. I did a video of that. I'm gonna drop it later on today, but it's concerning who was advising him to do such things. And let me leave you with this before I conclude. Have you heard any other boxer in the history of boxing make this many fucking excuses on why he lost? Name one. Name one particular fighter that has made this many excuses on why he lost, on what happened, and why he didn't get the victory. Name me one other fighter that made this many excuses. Counterpunch. Anyway, you guys tell me what you think about Tyson Fury's praising of Anthony Joshua. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.